Do you want to hear what two black holes slamming into each other sounds like? It doesn't sound like anything, of course. Sound waves can't travel through space, just like Alien's tagline taught us. But a black hole merger does create a different type of wave, gravitational waves. Back in February, the LIGO collaboration announced that it had detected its very first gravitational waves, produced by the merging of two black holes. The two combined to form a new black hole that was 62 times more massive than our Sun, but so small that its event horizon would fit inside the borders of my home state. And if you were floating 29 million kilometers away, you'd feel just as much gravitational pull as you do standing on the surface of the Earth. Despite how wonderfully cosmic black holes are, they're not particularly abundant in Hollywood films. The term itself was coined in 1964, but we have to wait until 1979 to see one on screen. Within the 90 movies sampled, the next appearance wasn't until 1997. Over the last 20 years, 8 films showed a black hole, giving us a total of 9 visual representations in 5 decades. Black holes as represented in films appear to fall into 2 categories, with one exception. Interstellar is of course the most recent iteration, and it's often touted as the most realistic. Theoretical physicist Dr. Kip Thorne helped the film's visual effects team develop a brand new program to simulate a black hole. This is what they came up with. You'll note that it looks a little bit different than what ended up in the movie, but they actually explained their reasoning behind this choice in an Institute of Physics paper. They removed the real-world shifts in color and brightness because Nolan judged it as more visually appealing, and they added in computer-generated lens flare, because moviegoers are accustomed to seeing things filmed through a real camera, whose lens would scatter and spread incoming light. Gargantua, as it's called, exists primarily to generate drama for the story by slowing down time for Matthew McConaughey and company relative to the people back on Earth. When he falls into the black hole, instead of being shredded to atom-sized pieces from the intense gravity, he finds himself inside some sort of higher dimensional space and eventually ends up on a station orbiting Saturn. For the rest of the movies, we either see black holes represented as nature's vacuum cleaners, characters get sucked in and die, or at risk of getting sucked in and somehow escape. Aside, black holes don't suck. Their extreme mass gives them a very strong gravitational pull, yes, but it's just gravity. You wouldn't say that the Earth was trying to suck the ISS back to the ground, would you? Or, we see them used as gateways to another location.
Imagine for a minute that this piece of paper...
No, excuse me. That's Vanessa and that's mine.
Attractive piece of paper represents space-time, and you want to get from point A here to point B there. Now, what's the shortest distance between 2 points?
A straight line.
Wrong. The shortest distance between 2 points is 0, and that's what the gateway does. It folds space so that point A and point B coexist in the same space and time. When the spacecraft passes through the gateway, space returns to normal.
Black holes being used as wormholes is as old as black holes being represented at all, even if the inside of the black hole Disney portrayed looked more like it belonged in an adaptation of Dante's Inferno. But wormholes are separate astronomical entities to black holes. A black hole is an infinitely dense singularity with an accompanying event horizon. Once you pass that point, you can't go back. Wormholes, meanwhile, are bridges between 2 points in space. Based on Einstein's theory of general relativity, it is mathematically possible to have 2 black holes on either end of a wormhole. But if you entered, you'd never be able to get out, since there are 2 event horizons pointing in opposing directions. A wormhole with only 1 black hole, and therefore 1 event horizon, would allow a one-way trip. But a 2-way traversal wormhole could not have any black holes. Ignoring the fact that black holes are often being used as wormholes, wormholes are no more abundant in the reviewed films. Adventures are the most willing to utilize either of them, followed narrowly by comedies. Meanwhile, only 1 drama, 1 horror, and no thrillers did. What does this say about Hollywood's perception of these phenomena? Of the 15 films with black holes and/or wormholes, 12 use them to skip over the vastness of space. This almost instantaneous form of travel allows a film to maintain its desired pace, while acknowledging, if only unintentionally, the universe's incomprehensible size. And perhaps this is related to one of the more interesting things that came out of the review of this topic. Most of the wormholes we see in films aren't naturally occurring phenomena. They're generated by some kind of technology. But if you could decide where to put them out of a wormhole, that definitely makes it easier and quicker to get you where you want to go. On the other hand, only 2 movies as black holes were man-made. In the Star Trek reboot, the tech is stolen and turned into a WMD. And in Event Horizon, the ship gets sent to an alternate dimension of pure chaos, gains sentience, and upon return tries to kill everyone that it can. So, don't make your own black holes. Lesson learned, I guess. Thanks for watching the third of this 4-part video series. That of course means that there's only one more left. But if you're done watching and you would like to help me complete my dissertation, please click on the link here or in the description below to give feedback.